Hello, this is Javier Ortiz from Helping Kids. In this episode, I want to share with you one simple idea to help your child's confidence. So let's just start with what is the issue. Separation anxiety, kids crying in the school gates, sometimes not putting their motivation towards work, or maybe pulling out of activities. Maybe they used to like football, but they don't force themselves, they don't try hard enough. All these small things every single day. They tend to be unnoticed, but a lot of the time we do notice as parents. And eventually we say, oh, what's happening here? Normally, when we realize that what's happening here, it's almost a tiny bit too late. What's happening there is our kid, our son or our daughter, is now experiencing some lack of self-esteem, some lack of confidence in achieving that particular task. And what is more annoying is that the more we want them to do it, the more they seem to reject our instructions. It's like if they do it, they're just gonna do it in a bad mood, bad tempered, and they're not gonna enjoy it, which makes us as parents feel even worse. What is really important to understand is what is behind that behavior. What's causing your son or your daughter to maybe give up too early? What's causing them to kind of not push themselves too far? And a lot of the times is that fear of failing. But that fear of failing is linked into something else. So put yourself into the shoes, yeah? And see, okay, if I try this, and they will say that, if I try this and I fail, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? My mom and dad are going to be upset, the teachers are going to think less of me, maybe my friends are going to ridicule me. That's what they're thinking, yeah? On the other side, they say, well, what if I try and do it? What's in it for me? And a lot of the times there's not that much for them. So if you consider this balance, this scale, on one side, I'm not so clear what's in it for me. In fact, I'm not so clear what I have to do swimming if I don't enjoy it at all. And on the other hand, is what's going to happen if I fail? If I don't do it properly, I'm going to be ridiculed, as I said, or I'm going to fail and everybody will know that I'm a loser. That's what's happening in your kid's world, in your kid's head. They're just not articulating it to you. And the reason why they're not telling you is because they're afraid what you might think if they say so. So the result is paralysis. What they do is they just freeze. Yeah, they don't have anywhere to go. They cannot tell you they don't want to do it, but they don't want to do it. What options do they have? Yeah, so they just freeze and nothing happens. And then we get upset, and then they freeze even more because they made us upset. And you know where this goes. You've seen it many times. It doesn't end up well. So the technique I want you to learn today, the technique I want you to think about, and I take this as tips rather than strategies or techniques or whatever, it's more a tip for you to consider. There is one thing that I call how many times till, yeah? And I'm going to show you how is that I go about it. So this idea came to me when I was working with young people, and in my sessions I include a lot of games. It makes it fun and makes them enjoyable. And I bought this. It's kind of a bit of a pop-up. I'll show you how it goes because it's a lot of fun. It's one of my winner games. And the game that we have is I put the pop-up here and then it pops. And the game that I created with them was to catch the pop-up before it touches the floor. Okay? Obviously in this video you've seen it pop it a lot. It doesn't pop that much normally, but that's fun of it. And what I found in these games was that after 1, 2, or 3 repetitions, some kids were saying, I was always asking, do you think you can catch it once? So, well, maybe. And they go, they catch it maybe on the first, on the second, on the third attempt, on the fourth attempt, but they catch it. And then I asked them, do you think you can catch it twice? I said, maybe. And I noticed that over the repetition, there was a time that they moved from maybe to, I think so, and then to yes. And that got me an idea, and then I started observing them a lot more. And what I noticed with this simple game is that some kids, good after 1, 2, or 3 repetitions, what I call few repetitions, they would say, yes, I think I can do it. Other kids would need 4, 5, 6 repetitions, and these are more generic, it's not scientific, just to give you an idea. They will say, yes, I can do it, but it could take them 4, 5, 6 successful repetitions before they felt they could do it a 7th. And other kids, not many, but some of them would say yes after 7, 8, or 9 repetitions. Now, eventually, all of them said yes. All of them said, yes, I can do it one more time. And that is what created this idea, this tip for you. How many times till? So the idea is that we all need a number of successful repetitions before we feel comfortable to do something. Yeah. Now, you have them, I have them. Sometimes we've done it in the past when something is new or something is a bit threatening. Even when we do it one more time or we do it once, it doesn't mean I feel confident to do it again. I think it might be luck that I did it that way. Yeah. And that happens a lot with children. But children are constantly exposed to new things. And then that fear of failing you as a mom, the dad, or the teacher comes in. So what I wanted to share with you is this idea of how many times till, because once that you understand this idea, I believe my role as a parent, my role as an educator, is to create those possible success experience. And I might need to create 20 successful experiences for them to achieve 5 or 6 or 7 positive ones. But what is really important is that they experience that success. And after a number of times, they will say, okay, yes, I can do it. And that goes for doing their own bed. That goes for preparing their own school bag. That goes for going to the corner shop to buy a pint of milk, wherever it is. For everything, there's a number of successful repetitions. I remember this young boy who was in one of the schools I support. He could just freeze and just get behind his mom's body, walk into the school when the school keeper was there. Perfectly fantastic, nice boy, nice person, charming, giving high five to everybody. But this boy could feel so threatened for whatever reason that he would just hide behind. As we implemented this technique, after quite a few repetitions, and I have to say it was quite a few repetitions, he could eventually come and give him a big high five, feel very proud of himself, knowing that he had done something that he felt he couldn't do. And that's really what I wanted to share with you. Now, what you can expect and what are the tricks to make this technique work well is, number one, make it simple. Yeah, okay, it doesn't get much more simple than this pop-up toy going up. Make it very, very, very simple. Go to the comfort zone and help them experience success there. And then little by little, create a tiny bit more difficult, but allow them to experience success, allow them to move from one stage to the next by themselves. Not when you think they're ready, not when you say, but you did it last week, when they are ready. That's what I wanted to share with you in this episode. I hope you find it useful. It, for me, is one of my most important observation techniques. How many times till gives me an assessment of where are they, therefore, how much work, how many opportunities, how many things I have to do to get them to where we want them to be, which is a confident person that can take on new challenges. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, give me your experiences. Try it out, really try it out with yourself. Think about yourself. How many times it takes you to do something new confidently. And then observe your kids. Take games, whatever, Lego, paper airplanes, these pop-up toys, whatever it is, and just kind of create that journey of learning for them, but do it at their own speed. One more thing, I forgot. As these kids get into this journey of learning, eventually they will need less and less repetitions. So the confidence that they learn in this pop-up game, eventually they can get it into building paper airplanes. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, but what happens is that confidence, that experience of success and confidence is creating a bigger platform to achieve other things. And that's it now. Now, for true, I will finish this video. Thank you very much for listening. Please do comment, give me your feedback, give me your ideas. If you have any question, please pop them in the comments and I will get back to you. And just for me, only to say thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to see you in the next videos. Bye.